Alrighty, so I know it's been a while since I last recorded, but I was out of commission for 3 weeks because of health issues, and then I got a new job. I'm also engaged, and I just got a PlayStation camera, so I might be actually doing some PS4 recordings shortly, soon, maybe. Probably after the semester's over. But anyways, other than that, I did want to mention before I start this video, which is going to be the continuation of the video games. This one's going to be on battle systems. Before I do that, I did want to mention, some of you guys are probably wondering, like, who are my favorite YouTubers, who inspired me. That would be Markiplier. I really enjoy his videos. They always make me laugh. Jacksepticeye is an adorable Irishman. He's great. The Game Grumps are wonderful people. And then I also watch extra credits for its educational value, because I actually do like watching educational stuff on YouTube. I know that's weird. So anyways, that's that. And I guess if I get, I don't know, like 5,000 subscribers one day, which I don't think that'll ever happen, but if I ever do, then I might like start doing like reading your comments. But right now I don't really have that many subscribers. I have like a whole 4. But whatever. So this episode is battle systems. Now, a lot of different games have a lot of different battle systems, and I'm not going to try and cover them all in one video. That would take too long.
Bye-bye.
I'm saying goodbye to my roommate.
Bye-bye.
Told
him I said bye. Told him I said bye.
I told him I was telling you bye. Now go away.
Goodbye, friends of Randy. I'll miss you.
I'm recording for YouTube. Go
Whoops.
away. Go away.
Whoops.
Anyways, yeah, so that's my roommate. Anyways.
You can edit that out if you want. Wink.
Anyways. There are the normal, I guess, battle systems where there's turn by turn, there's active, there's RTS. I guess those are really, well, first person, but whatever. Turn by turn is like the old Final Fantasy and a bunch of indie games do, where, you have your turn and the enemies have their turn, and, it's kind of pretty easy. But you still need to develop tactics depending on what enemies or what bosses you're facing. Active is a little bit harder because you're doing stuff and the enemy is doing stuff all at the same time, so you gotta be thinking quickly. RTS, like Fire Emblem, isn't that hard. I mean, you still have to develop tactics, but you can, really, really, develop everything and be ready to go before the battle even starts. But what some people don't like is that games that used to go by a turn-by-turn system, then they went to active slowly, and then they went back to turn-by-turn, and people are like, I'm so confused! Anyways, I like different battle systems, not just different battle systems, different progression systems even. I like that, every time I play a game, whether it's part of a series or not, the battle system might be different, the progression system might be different, so it gives me something new to learn, new to explore. So that's why I tend to like those things. Turn by turn, I really enjoy, because it's simple. I like active because I like running and just killing things at the same time. Even though I normally play like a rogue, I'm not the rogue that normally stands in like the back end video games and just shoots a bow. I'm normally the rogue like with the daggers that just runs up and just like stabs the people, because I don't know. I guess I don't know how to play a rogue properly or something. But that's the way I always play my rogues. So there's those. And I do like Fire Emblem and those types of games. And I've recently been playing a game called Stella Glow, which I would love to do a Let's Play of, but I don't know how to record with a 3DS. As soon as I figure that part out, we'll be good to go, because Stella Glow is freaking amazing. But after you play it like for like an hour, you don't want to play it no more. And there's reasons for that, because of the way they made the game. But I'm not going to get into that. This is not a video about Stella Glow. I also play games that a lot of people don't know of. That's just a thing. But anyways, so, and of course there's stereotypes in the battle systems, where you normally have somebody that can heal, somebody that's your tank, somebody that's your rogue, or your DPS, which can either be a rogue or a black mage, but you normally have like 3 party members, which is why when you have one party member, people, and it's a fantasy game, people go, RNG, and flip out, because they don't know what to do. Because they're so used to the stereotypes and the tropes of having those 3 party members. They're always used to having at least those 3 people. And if you don't, then people flip shit. Like, I think that's why people flipped shit about 13.3, Lightning Returns. Because you literally just had Lightning. And she could do all the classes, you just had to, like, switch between them constantly. And so people were, like, flipping out, like, oh my god, I don't like this. 13.2, you know, you had Sarah, who was like your rogue, and then you had, I think his name's Noel, who was like your tank, and then you could have a monster who could be like your healer, or whatever. In the original 13, you could just, like, do whatever you wanted, because you had enough party members, and you could have 3 in your party at the time being, so you were normally good to go. But normally most games have 3 to 4 party members to literally establish that you have your healer, you have your tank, and you have your DPS. Even Mass Effect does that. You normally take a biotic with you, you normally take a tech person with you, and you normally take a tank person with you. That's normally like the 3 you take with you. Unless you're like me, where I had Garrus, who's an infiltrator. I'm an infiltrator, and then I normally just had a fucking, like, I would normally have, like, Liara or Jack. I would normally have a biotic with me. I would never have a tech person with me, which was always weird. Because I was like, nah, man, I'm good. And I never had a tank with me. Like, it was, like, mainly, it was just, like, ranged people all the time. And I worked fine. I beat all 3 games. I was great. But it probably would have been easier had I gone with the normal stereotype of, you know, the 3 that you're supposed to have. In the Dragon Age games, I normally go with 1 or 2 rogues, a tank, and a healer mage. Or I'll have 2 mages and 1 rogue and a tank. But you always normally have somebody that heals. And if you don't, then it does make the game a little bit harder, because you're, like, trying to conserve stuff so you don't die. And that's why progression systems, I guess, I could also talk about in this video. Because progression systems are different in different games. But before I get into progression systems, there's also the RTS, like Fire Emblem. So in Fire Emblem, you still normally have your archers and your mages and your tanks, but it's a little different because you also have other classes that can, like, make your party members move more than once, which is kind of nice. You know, they can attack once, and then you can have a dancer, you know, do their little dance and have the person attack again, which is kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's kind of awesome. But that's always been interesting, you know. And you normally have, with Fire Emblem, you normally have, like, 2 healers in most RTS games. You have 2. So you'll keep, like, especially if you have to split up your party, you'll take one healer with one side with one group, and you'll take the other healer with the other side. And you'll normally split up the mages and archers and tanks that way too. That way you have an even distributed team to, like, take out the enemy forces. And 10.2, a lot of people didn't like it because it was fan servicey. I actually really enjoyed the game. And yes, I am a female saying that I really enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed the story. But I also enjoyed the battle system, because if I really wanted to, like, just go all out and have all warriors, I could. I could switch them on the fly, which I liked. I liked being able to say, hey, I want, you know, this class or that class or this class right then and there. Now, and I've also been playing 14 recently, Final Fantasy 14. and I like the battle system in that too. But in that game, I'm not my normal like rogue character. I'm an Arcanist, which is a buff character. Because I generally like the buff characters too. I like characters that can buff other characters and debuff characters. I think it doesn't fit a normal trope of a DPS because they're a buff. It's like this fourth class that nobody really plays, but the people that do play it and that can play it well are freaking excellent on a team. Because they can help you pretty much win any battle. Like, if they have the right stuff, and they can just, like, put poisons and, debuffs on the enemy, and then they can buff up your party, they're fucking brilliant, and you can just murder things, okay? Trust me. Because I think in 14 I don't actually kill anything. I think my Carbuncle and my poisons. Because I have, like, 3 different poisons that I cast on the enemy, just destroys the enemy. I don't even have to, like, actually, like, cast an actual spell at it. So, there's that. And I guess if anybody wants to play 14 when I get some money, I will actually get back into 14, since I just got a new job, But then there's, like, indie games like the Avion series, where the characters don't exactly fit the tropes. And so Avion's a little weird to play, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a healer, and I'm gonna have a tank, and I'm gonna have a DPS, and you normally have 4 party members in the Avion games. Well, you don't exactly have the healer, the rogue, the DPS right off the bat, like you do in most games. In Airman's Prophecy, you get, I guess what would be equated to your healer first. The main character is your healer. And then you get the tank next. And then you get your rogue, your DPS next. I haven't actually gotten farther than getting the rogue in that game before. And since I'm doing a series on that, I will actually do my best to hopefully get past that part after you get the rogue. Because I never really gotten farther than getting the rogue. In Avion 1, you get Ren, because it's called Ren's Quest, obviously. So Ren is your first party member. She is what's called a sword singer. So she is kind of a tank and kind of a DPS. She's a little bit in both. And then Lars, who's your attack mage, your black mage, get him second. And then, who do you get third? I don't think it's a healer. You don't get a healer till, like, no, you get the vampire, no, you get Galahad, your tank, next. So you literally have no healer at all unless you, like, got Lars healing magic. Because you literally don't have any heals. And then you get T'Jala, who is another rogue. She's a vampire. She uses a crossbow. And no, I forgot one. You get this whip-wielding lady. So, like, you still don't have a healer, and you're pretty far into the game. And then you finally, I can't remember his name right offhand, but then you get a Sun Priest, who is your healer. Well, you don't get him till, like, a third of the way through this game. So you fucking, like, you level up like bullshit, and you have, like, because the healing stuff in that is, like, bread and meat, and you fucking just, like, store that shit, like, you have shit tons of it, because if you don't, you're fucking screwed. In 2, you have your mage. It's called Aaron's Quest. You have your mage, and you have your DPS people right off the bat. And then you get your healer, but you have an option. You can either take a healer, or you can take a black mage. And you have to, like, switch back and forth between them. Because they don't like each other, so they won't be in your party at the same time. They never will. In 3, you actually start out as the rogue, Mel, your DPS person. Which is okay. But again, you don't get your healer till a little bit later on. And in Avion 4, which I have been playing, I just finally got the healer. Like, finally got the healer. Like, it's fucking, like, okay, Mist can kind of heal because you get Boyle, and then you get Mist, and then you get Boyle's wife. And Mist can kind of heal, like, that's literally, like, all Mist is good for is for healing. But she doesn't heal, she heals a good amount, but not all of it. But I just finally got, like, the Dream Walker dude, and he's your, like, actual healer, and I just finally got him, and I'm like, thank Jesus, I just got him. But, like, because of the way the Avion series is structured, they literally, like, they've got the healer, like, spaced far out, that way you don't rely on that healer. And I wish more games would do that. I wish more games would make it to where you don't get that healer right off the bat. You don't get that healer till later on, so you don't rely on that healer, so you actually, like, learn how to use your characters very well, and you're not trying to be, like, using that healer all the time. That's just, like, my thoughts on it. But anyways, and, like, some battle systems, like, Tales is a great example of different battle systems, because, I swear to God, in every game that comes out, there's a different battle system. So, by the time you get used to one, and you beat the game, and you go buy the next game, you all new shit, alright? Even the shop system changes in each game. So you never, ever have figured shit out. Because the blocking is always different, the attacking is always different, the charge meter is always different. Like, everything, how you use your arts in the game is always different. And you're like, oh my god, and like, MP is always different in each of the games, and you're like, oh my god. But the nice thing about it always changing is you always learn something new when you're playing a Tales game, which is nice. Suikoden also does that bullshit. Not for the main battles. For the main battles, it's pretty much, you know, the same, like, this rune beats this rune, and this is how you do combo, like, friendship attacks, or combo attacks, and, you know, that's always the same. But they changed the war system in every game. So, like, you beat the first one, and you get used to that war system, and you're like, yay! Because you can fucking use ninjas and fucking, like, merchants to fucking know what the enemy's gonna do. Fucking, that's how you win every battle. The second game, they're like, nah, man, we're gonna make it like RTS, like friggin' Fire Emblem. Alright, not that bad. The third game, I don't know, you fucking move like chess pieces across the board. The fourth game, it's fucking ship battles, it's Battleship. I don't know what else to tell you, it's fucking Battleship. The fifth game is, I guess, a mix of, like, Battleship and, like, you taking your like, units and, like, running up and just, like, stabbing the enemy. And, of course, certain units beat certain units, and the way I found to beat 5, the most effective way is literally to take one unit, bring it up to the unit that it's gonna beat, drag that unit away, slowly, and just destroy that unit, and then, like, repeat. Like, that makes the battle take, like, instead of it taking, like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, it takes, like, an hour? But it works, and, like, none of your party members die. Because in Suikoden, if somebody dies, they're dead, you don't get the perfect ending, and it sucks. But, so there's that. What else? I like being able to, like, choose how you level up, because I think that's interesting. It's an interesting concept, and instead of being like, oh, this is what you get when you level up. It's like, oh, well, you have the option of choosing this, this, or this. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's different. And I like that idea of choosing what you get when you level up. So I don't really like the idea of skill points, or some type of grid system, or some type of system where you choose what you get as you level. I also like, I like classes that are, like, supposed to be one thing, but then you make them, like, let's say you take, this isn't possible in most games, but let's say you make a dwarf into a mage. That just doesn't work, but, like, if you can do that, that's great. I like making things that shouldn't be. I like making things that you just go, no, this doesn't work. Because I find it intriguing. But, so that's what I like doing. And I've also have been playing Orcs Must Die Unchained recently. And I'm really starting to like that game. But I guess that's all I'm going to do for this video. And I will try and have an Avion video, Airman's Prophecy up today. Because I just got to where I was last time. Since I have a new computer and everything. And I guess when I get 15, I'll do, I'll play it, I'll do Let's Plays of it, and probably when I get Star Ocean 5, I'll do Let's Plays of it. I also have Knack. For my PS4, I have Dragon Age Inquisition, with all the DLC. I have, what else do I have? I have a few other games. I guess if you want to know, just ask me and I'll reply in the comments. But yeah, like I said, if I get up to, what did I say, 10,000 subscribers? Yeah, 10,000 subscribers. I'll start reading YouTube comments, maybe even reading Twitter comments, because I do have a Twitter. I also have a Facebook. So yeah, if I were ever to get up to that many, which I doubt it, then I would start doing that. I have quite a lot of Steam games. If you want to know what Steam games I have, just ask me. I'll put it in the comments, if someone asks. Or if you ask me on Facebook, I'll reply to you and let you know. I have generally just a lot of computer games. I have stuff from Big Fish Games. Because I have Diner Dash, and Avion and that kind of stuff. But I also have Steam games, and then I just have computer games. I have 3DS games, which, like I said, as soon as I figure out how to do Let's Plays of those, I will. I think I just need a camera pointed down at it. But that requires buying an actual camera, because I just generally use my computer camera. And I might start doing my vlogs actually in my room instead of in the living room. I haven't decided that yet. And maybe when I do the computer games, I might again do that in the bedroom. Well, bedroom, my room, whatever. My bedroom, office area. Instead of doing them in the living room. I haven't decided yet. But yeah. I also have PS3 games, but I don't have very many. I'm mainly just Dragon Age, because I got rid of most of mine. Because I didn't really play my PS3 anymore. But I know you can get a good deal of PS3 games on the PlayStation Rent system. I think it's on PlayStation Now. So I might do that. Oh yeah, and I also beat the Final Fantasy Platinum demo. So I might do a quick Let's Play of that. It's I think 30-40 minutes tops. So I might do that. But anyways, if you like this video, subscribe, please, because I don't have a whole lot of subscribers. I have 4, and I would like more. But other than that, I will try and upload stuff more often. If you guys have any suggestions on stuff for me to talk about, unless it's politics or religion, I guess just put it in the comments, and it can be about any game series you want. If I don't know what it is, I'll probably have to do some research. But yeah, just shoot me questions and stuff, and maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. So I will see you guys in the next video.